Ending the forced labor of black people wasn't the only aim of the U.S. Constitution's 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery in 1865. Congress also wanted to stop the brutal abuses forced on enslaved women, says Michelle Goodwin, a constitutional law expert at the University of California, Irvine.
It was very well understood and, in fact, debated and articulated by members of the Senate who led the campaign for the 13th Amendment, that they were abolishing black women's involuntary reproductive servitude, where they were forced to bear children that they did not want, always or most often under the conditions of sexual assault and rape.
The 14th Amendment took freedom a step further in 1868, mandating equal protection under the law for all. And in 1973, that 14th Amendment promise became the legal foundation for abortion rights. Until last month, when a conservative majority on the U.S. Supreme Court overturned it. Justice Samuel Alito wrote that, quote, "A right to abortion is not deeply rooted in the nation's history and traditions." In fact, abortion was illegal in most states when the 14th Amendment passed, Alito said.
My body, my choice.
Critics say that ignores the bitter lessons from slavery and the disparities that exist across states.
I look at a state like Mississippi where the Supreme Court took this decision. 80% of the cardiac deaths during pregnancy are to black women. People who care about the safety and health of girls and women should all be concerned.
The court's ruling upheld a Mississippi ban on abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. Now, states can set their own rules. More than half are expected to ban or severely limit abortion. Abortion rights advocates say that states with high poverty and minority populations have the most to lose. Women could be forced to carry an unwanted pregnancy to term or be prosecuted for traveling to a state where abortion is legal. Mississippi is surrounded by states that ban or will soon ban abortion.
We don't have equal rights in this country. We need to be very clear on that. There are some states that are talking about now they want to prosecute and criminalize people for taking someone out of state and for talking about, self-managing abortion. This has gone way beyond just, abortion access. This is about oppression. This is about misogyny.
Anti-abortion activists are cheering the court's embrace of states' rights. In Texas, the law now prohibits abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy. Later this month, that will change to a ban on all abortions except to save a mother's life.
It's not a blanket statement saying abortion cannot happen. The voters have the ability to vote in elected officials who support their majority values across the state and advocate for legislation that upholds those values.
Roe v. Wade opponents say the Supreme Court finally got it right by throwing out the case that for nearly 50 years protected abortion under the 14th Amendment.
Abortion is not found anywhere in the text of the Constitution. And so the Supreme Court correctly found that in Roe versus Wade, it had gotten it wrong, and it correctly overturned Roe versus Wade and sent this very important, very divisive issue back to the people's elected representatives.
Last week, U.S. President Joe Biden signed an order to protect abortion access, including by medication. After that, it's on to the congressional elections in November, where abortion will be front and center.